Okay, so this is question 10. I've already written out my working out so you can have a look at it, and I will explain it. So part A of this question, we need to find the coordinates of point A, which is this point over here. We can see at this point that the y coordinate is 0. So I've just taken my y equation and made it equal to 0 up here in blue in the top right. To solve this equation, I have then factorised out the x to the power of a half. So factorising the x to the power half outside, that will leave me with a 4 as the first term and an x as the second term. And just to double check that, if I multiply that back out, the x to the power of a half times 4 is 4x to the power of a half. The x to the power of a half times x is x to the power 3 over 2. So this is factorised, and I can see now that my solutions would either be x equals 0 from here, or x equals 4 from here. The x equals 0 corresponds to the origin, and obviously the x equals 4 corresponds to point A. So the coordinate of point A is 4, 0. Part B, we had to work out the x coordinates of point B, which was a maximum. Now I know at a maximum that the gradient is 0. So I've differentiated my original function. So differentiating the 4x to the power half means to times the 4 by a half, which gives 2. And then take 1 away from the power, so a half take away 1 is minus 1 half. Then differentiating the x to the power 3 over 2. So I'm going to times by 3 over 2 and take 1 away from the power. So 3 over 2 take away 1 is a half. And then I've made my gradient function equal to 0. To solve this equation, I don't like this negative power here. So I'm just thinking about what that actually means. And 2x to the power of minus a half means the same thing as 2 over x to the power of a half. And that's useful because that tells me that I need to multiply through this equation by x to the power of a half to cancel this out. So if I times both sides by x to the power of a half, like I say, this first term will now just become a 2. Then I've got this x to the power of a half times x to the power of a half, which would just be x to the power 1. And then I've got the 0 times x to the power half, which would just be 0. I've then taken that 3 over 2x to the right-hand side over here, and then times by 4 and divide by 3, and I get x equals 4 over 3. So that's the answer to part B. And then finally for part C, working out the area of this shaded region. So I'm going to integrate my curve between the limits of 0 and 4. So that's this line here. To integrate, we raise the power. So we add 1 to the half to get 3 over 2 and divide by the new power. Similarly, I add 1 to the 3 over 2 here. So I get 5 over 2 and divide by the new power. I'm then just simplifying this. So 4 divided by 3 over 2 is the same thing as 8 over 3. Because the 4, I can times top and bottom of this fraction by 2. And 1 divided by 5 over 2 is the same thing as 2/5. I've then substituted the 4 limit in, here and here. Then I substituted the 0 limit in, here and here. And then took them away. And that gives me my answer.